A group of researchers set up a study where participants are intentionally put in stressful situations. While participants are calmly filling out a survey, the researchers stage a fake robbery right in the middle of the room. One moment, it's just another questionnaire, then suddenly someone bursts in, yells, grabs a backpack, and runs. The goal? To see how people respond physically, mentally, and emotionally to stressful situations. Is that ethical? Researchers can't just scare people for fun, even if the data looks amazing. Because as a wise philosopher once said, with great research comes great responsibility. Who let Spider-Man write this script? In this video, we'll explore how ethical guidelines keep research safe, fair, and scientifically sound. If you're ready, grab your notes, fire up those neurons, let's jump in. Okay, it's scenario time. You're a health psychologist studying teacher burnout. Teachers are reporting exhaustion, stress, and the occasional daydream about quitting to become a barista in a small mountain town. That would be nice. You want to know what's going on, so you design a survey asking about workload, sleep, and emotional health. You're about to hit send on that email when it hits you. This isn't just another Google form asking, what's your favorite donut? You're asking real people to open up about personal stuff. And that means it's time to pull out your ethics checklist. First up, IRB. IRB stands for Institutional Review Board, a group of people, aka the ethics squad, who review proposed studies to make sure they're ethical, don't put participants at risk, and respect their rights. In your teacher burnout survey, the IRB is going to want to know things like, are the questions too personal? Could answering them trigger emotional distress? Is participation 100% voluntary with no guilt trip follow-up emails? Because here's the deal. If your study doesn't get IRB approval, it doesn't happen. No data, no results, just a sad unsent Google form. Now, once your study is approved, every teacher participating needs to give informed consent. That means they know what the study's about, how long it'll take, any risks involved, and this part's important, that they can stop at any time or for any reason. No coercion, no guilt trips. Now, if you're working with younger participants, like aspiring teachers under 18, there's an extra step. You'll need informed assent from the student and informed consent from the parent or guardian. Now, let's say one teacher shares something deeply personal. That information is protected. That's called confidentiality. And it means you can't go around posting names, screenshots, or you'll never guess what the teacher said, social media posts. In other words, keep it private, keep it professional, keep it off the group chat. Researchers often assign each participant a number and store responses in a secure database or leave names entirely out. Now, let's say you used a little deception in your study. That means you didn't tell participants the whole truth up front. Not because you're shady, but because science sometimes needs a good poker face. Sometimes, researchers keep the real purpose a secret because if participants knew it, it might change how they behave. And that could mess with the results. And messed up results equals bad science. For example, some studies use what's called confederates, people who pretend to be participants but are actually working with the researchers. And no, not the American Civil War kind, these confederates fight for science, not the South. In our study, maybe you tell teachers the focus is on time management skills, but you're actually looking at the correlation between their schedules and levels of stress and emotional exhaustion. That kind of deception is sometimes allowed, but only if it's approved by the IRB and you debrief participants afterward. Debriefing means explaining what the study was really about, why deception was used, and giving participants a chance to ask questions or even withdraw their data. All right, let's lock in with a quick recap. We just covered the ethical foundations that guide psychological research. Because good science isn't just about what you study, it's about how you treat the people involved. Tattoo this on your psych brain. The IRB, Institutional Review Board, reviews research proposals to make sure they're ethical, safe, and respectful. Informed consent means participants know what they're signing up for, and they can stop at any time. Remember, consent must come from a parent or guardian. Assent comes from the child. Confidentiality protects participants' private information and responses from being shared without their permission. Deception, or withholding the true purpose of the study, is allowed only if approved by the IRB, and participants must be fully debriefed afterward. All right, thanks for watching AP Psych Brainiacs. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss that next video. And as always, when in doubt, trust the ethics and then the data. See you next time.